Welcome to Charlie Jane Speakers Radio. This is the show where we share speaking tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your public speaking business. Our goal at Charlie Jane is to get you, the speaker, on the platform in front of thousands of people so that you can teach and motivate your audience, enriching and empowering them to lead fulfilling lives. And now, here's your host, Wendi McNeil.
Hey there, it's Wendi McNeil here with Charlie Jane Speakers, and thank you for tuning in to another podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about the speaker's website. Yep, your speaker website. Before I start, I want to invite you over to our fantastic Facebook group. It is called Grow Your Speaking Biz, and it is an amazing community of speakers that are so willing to help each other learn and grow. You can find us on Facebook, Grow Your Speaking Biz. You can also go to speakingbizcommunity.com. Speakingbizcommunity.com will also get you over to our Facebook group. So I look forward to seeing you over there. On to today's podcast, 5 ways to make the most out of your speaker website. This is so important, okay? I want you, if you are a speaker, you need to have a website. Does it need to cost thousands and thousands of dollars? No. Please do not spend thousands of dollars on a website, okay? You can have, you can hire somebody to do your website, but you do not need to spend thousands of dollars. I want you to think simple here. The most important part about your speaker website is that it is clear, crystal clear. When the hiring party lands on your website, they know exactly what you do. Okay, they're not off running around on a goose chase trying to find this and find that, and they have no idea what you're doing. I have heard this time and time again. I have not only worked with speakers since 2002, I also work with meeting planners. I hear it all the time. Okay, what happens when they can't find what they need? What happens when they land on your website and they don't know what the heck you do? They leave. Okay, we do not want them to leave. So it is very important to have a speaker website that speaks directly to them, that speaks directly to your audience. They know exactly what you're doing, and you have everything in place that they need to help them make an easy hiring decision, or at least to help them and draw them in to learn more. 5 ways to make the most out of your speaker website. In my almost 18 years, it's always a joy to come across an organized, a neat, and attractive website with everything needed easily at hand. Anything less can seriously hinder your speaking career, in the growth of your speaking business. You have but a few moments, guys, gals, minutes at best, right, to captivate a planner. If you make it frustrating, they're going to move on. They will, all right? Make the hiring decision easy for them, as I mentioned before, and the gratitude will come across in bookings. Let me say that again. Make the hiring decision easy, and the gratitude will come across in bookings. Many times a planner, they need to print like an article, a blog post, your one sheet. They have to print that. It needs to be on your website because they have to actually bring it up before a board, or a selection committee to make that decision together on who they're going to hire as a speaker. So, moving forward, on each page of your website, I want you to do the following. Okay, for each of your pages on your website, do the following. Number 1, I want you to do your homework. Yes, Wendi says do your homework. This is important, okay? Now, I have a blog post that I wrote, and it quickly goes over the important elements of a speaker website. So I want you to go to charliejane.com. I want you to go to my blog post. I want you to search for the blog post called The Top 5 Essential Elements That Make an Incredible and Profitable Speaker Website. I want you to do that, number 1. Okay? Number 2, I want you to critique your site. All right. Using the list of website features in the post that I wrote, can you see areas that you need to improve on your website? Okay, I want you to open up your website, and I want you to begin to make a list of the changes your website needs. All right, so that's number 2, is critique your site. Number 3, weed out the clutter, guys, gals. This is super important. Is it easy to find what you need on your website? I mentioned this earlier. Like, how many clicks does it actually take to get to your speaker's information, right? Are you sending them on a goose chase? Don't do that, all right? Don't do that. Is what you do and who you serve instantly, and is it obvious on your homepage, right? Like, bam, they show up on your website, instant connection. Like, oh, that's what they do? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Okay, that makes an immediate connection. Is your one sheet or your sample or your blog post, your article downloads, your videos, all that stuff, all the things that you know as a speaker that you need, are they easily accessible? Okay, that is number 3. Weed out the clutter. Number 4, don't make them think. Don't make them think. Okay, are you using those cute link titles, when someone might just want it to be easy to find your about page, right? And your speaker information. Simple, simple, simple. Think simple all the time. Home, about, contacts, speaking services, books, etc. That might seem boring to you, but haven't you ever been to a website and had a hard time actually finding the about page, learning more about them, where they came from? I do. So what did you end up doing when you couldn't find what you needed? You left, right? We do not want them to leave. I want you to pull them in. I want you to take them on a journey. I want you to give them more of you. Okay? It's your job to make this easy. So number 4, don't make them think. Number 5, schedule changes. All right? Whether you maintain your website yourself or you have somebody do it for you, you need to get the changes into your schedule. Do what you can do today, but if there's major work to be done, schedule time for it, or contact the professional who works on your website with a list of the changes you need to make. I want to talk just a little bit about branding. Now, a brand is the full sensory and emotional experience of your company that exists solely in someone else's experience. The act of branding is an attempt to influence that image through the use of colors, words, style, graphics, content, messages, mission, and every form of communication. So your website is the center, right? Is the center of your online branding universe, around which your entire online presence and communications should orbit. It's your job to make sure it's attractive, to make sure that it's easy to navigate, make sure it's up to date, and that it looks complete. It's also an evolving document. It's never done, right? It's never done. While it should always appear complete. So I'm going to leave you with some extra tips, guys, gals, okay? If you will benefit from seeing examples of like speakers' websites in action, then visit other speakers' websites for inspiration, for motivation. If this will just give you analysis paralysis and make you feel overwhelmed, save the thought for another day, okay? Never, ever copy from someone else. Ever. It's okay. It's okay to be inspired, but make sure your content is your own. You may see elements or questions that another speaker answers that you think would be helpful for you to include for your own potential customers. All your materials, your one sheets, your business cards, your social media sites, all of it, all the things, they should all revolve around the same look and feel. All portray the same messages. Very important. Let me say that again. All portray the same messages. Put all your materials in one place and compare them with your website. Make sure that everything looks like it belongs to the same family, right? If one social media website goes out of commission or becomes unpopular, you then leverage the next and you carry your audience with you from one to the next through the central hub, which is your website. Okay? Make sure that you are capturing leads into an email database through your website. This is a great way of helping your audience find you on new social media platforms, notifying them of upcoming speaking engagements, and letting them know when you've published a book or put out a new blog post or article. So Once again, in recapping, for each of your pages, I want you to do the following. Number 1 was do your homework. Find that blog post. Number 2, critique your site. Number 3, I want you to weed out the clutter. Number 4, I want you to not make them think. Number 5, schedule the changes that are needed. Okay? It's really, really important to have a very crystal clear website, a non-cluttered website. Leave some white space and have everything easily accessible for them. I've seen it time and time again where the hiring party, the meeting planner, the organizers, they go to the speaker's website and they cannot find what they need. They can't find what they're looking for, or they spend too much time on a goose chase and they leave. I don't want them to leave. I want them to stay on your site. You want them to stay on your site. So take a little bit of time, open up your website and ask yourself, do I have everything that I need on my website for a planner to make an easy hiring decision? Okay. Do I have a very clear message on my website? If they land on my website, are they going to know exactly immediately what I do? So take some time to go over that. It's really important. So that is the end of this podcast. I did want to say, don't forget to go to Grow Your Speaking Biz over on Facebook. We would love to see you over there. We'd love for you to join the Charlie Jane Speaker family. And if you have a few minutes, I would love, love, love a review if you found this podcast helpful. And please be sure to share it with your friends. You guys take care. Bye.